Hi, Scritty here, demon.com, looking at, this is a correlation graph. It's correlating the various elements of somebody's on-site and off-site SEO to the ability of that element to rank for a particular key phrase or word. And it's obviously, being a correlation, it's all relative, and it's relative to the data taken about 3 months ago and the sort of thing you'd find on places like searchmetrics.com. So this is relative. This line here, just underneath the R in measured, this is 0, it has 0 effect. Anything to the left of this, then the benefit or of whatever factor this is on the left has decreased since July 2012. Anything to the right of it, and the correlation sort of suggests that the benefit has increased since July 2012. That doesn't mean these have a negative effect. It means that their effect isn't as great as it was in July. Okay, let's get that absolutely straight. This is a relative set of figures. This doesn't mean negative, it means reduce. This doesn't mean positive, it means greater. Doesn't mean that this used to, EMDs might still have a positive effect, but they're not as positive as they were. And all this one, please take this, understand what relative, if you don't understand what relative is and how stats work, this might not be, the rest of this video might not be for you. Anyway, moving on, I'm going to go down these now. So as we found, the benefit of exact match domain search term has decreased. I think this comes as a surprise to nobody, and it continues the trend that's been going on since sort of April. This doesn't mean it's a negative effect, just means it no longer has as big a positive effect as it once did. It was once a real kingpin factor, but now it's reducing, and it continues to reduce, so I'm told. Title character length greater than 48 characters. This now is having, used to not matter, but now it's having a slight detrimental effect on ability of any particular phrase for that URL to rank in SERPs if it's used in the title. I should say that the guys that did this, it isn't Search Metrics, it's guys from Traffic World and places like that, and it's 150 million URLs across several 100,000 websites ranging from undefined PR to PR8. So this is a huge sample size, and although this isn't empirical data, because it can't be, because we don't really know what Google does, that you look at what things are on each site and then you measure them up and try and and extrapolate the correlation from that. Anyway, moving on. Single biggest thing which has seemed to affect sites in a negative way in the last 3 months, or had a correlation in that direction, is an AdSense block in the first 720 pixels vertical of your site. This might be mixed up in the EMDs made for AdSense thing, and people might be thinking they've had an EMD slap, where if you look at sites that, some sites that aren't EMD, some sites that aren't MFA, but still have an AdSense block somewhere in the first 720, that is the biggest contributing factor to a slight dip in SERPs. Bear in mind, this is only a few percent. I mean, these look pretty big bars, but this is only, we're looking at 3 or 4% here and 1 or 2% here. They're not massive, but it's interesting that this AdSense slap is something like 2 or 3 times bigger than the EMD reduction in benefit. So might be worth looking at that. 2 old favourites that have a positive effect and have an increased positive effect in the last few months are keywords in a H1 tag and title tag, but as we'll go down we'll see there's some caveats with that. External backlinks with stop words. So if you have backlinks come into your site and they now contain a stop word, this has proven to have an increased effect. This is probably people going out and diversifying their anchor text as a result of the Penguin update. And rather than having on the nose anchors, they're putting a lot more generic anchor text in there, but that seems to be working. Word count greater than 130, less than 3,000, with a variable sweet spot depending on the topic you're writing about. If you're writing and it's below 130, add a bit of editorial, a bit of comment just to bolster up, and if it's over 3,000, just split it into multiple parts. You can still write the same, continued here, and have another part, but it's best to stick within those parameters. As far as the word count goes, number of backlinks in any article should be less or equal to 1 backlink per 250 words, which is another way of saying backlink anchors less than 0.4% of total word count. So if you've got 1,000 words in your article, don't have more than 4 outgoing backlinks. 250 words 1. If you do this 130 words, you shouldn't really have any backlinks, or you might be struggling a little bit. Image count greater than 0 simply means have an image. Internal backlinks with stop word. Again, this seems to have an even bigger benefit. Google is sort of had this, I want to say the word incestuous, but relationship with a site with itself now. So if you've got a site with authority and you have individual URLs with page rank and ranking well for certain phrases, then the way they link with other pages within your own site now has an increasingly important part to play, and so does the anchor text you use for those. Backlinks with keyword greater than 1, less than 33%. So if you have inbound backlinks, you've got to have some, but they've got to be less than 33%. Be very important of duplication here. If you're creating backlinks, say for mobile phone, and you have mobile phone, new mobile phone, second-hand mobile phone, best mobile phone, Nokia mobile phone, they all contain the phrase mobile phone. And so when it comes to mobile phone, you might think, well, I'm not going to get slapped for Nokia mobile phone. No, maybe not, but you will get slapped for the phrase mobile phone, because it's nearly 100% of your backlinks. You have to mix it up much better than that. You can't, just use the word sell sometimes. Here's another one that I know is just there's people itching to have an argument about this. Having no follow backlinks of greater than 1 but less than or equal to 50% of your total inbound backlinks has quite a decent positive effect on your site. So no follow counts. We know it doesn't count for page rank because that's what no follow means. It doesn't mean don't pass SERPs benefit, it means don't pass page rank benefit. But having some, this still means you could have 99% more or less do follow, but it means anything up to 50% can be no follow. I just can feel people itching to argue with that, but that's, this is hundreds of millions of URLs, hundreds of thousands of websites, and that's just the way it is. This is since July of 2012. Word context, 95% language appropriate, 12% keyword context appropriate. So if you're writing in English, make sure 95% of the words you write are recognisable English when Google or Bing's crawler comes through. If Bing's crawler, for instance, finds more than 5 words per 100 that it doesn't understand as English, your website can be penalised a little bit. It may not get the benefit that it should get. Now there's 3 ways this could happen. It's not just using foreign language words. Foreign language words is one. Misspellings is another, or using technical phrases which Google or Bing's bot don't understand yet. If a new product comes out, a new Sony phone, the One Mix or whatever it's calling now, I don't know even how it's spelled, and you use it a lot, or there's a couple in the range and you use their words a lot, and Google hasn't got around to understanding those words and adding them to its dictionary yet, you may get slapped for using inappropriate language. Likewise, around 12% of the other words if it's looking to rank you for mobile phone, around 12% of the other words in that article should be in some way related to mobile phone without actually being mobile phone. So you may want to use cell, you may want to use Nokia, you might want to use battery, you might want to use 3G, mast, I don't know, whatever mobile phone technology there is out there, iOS, Android, ice cream sandwich, whatever you want to do, which will help to give that context. If it doesn't find about 1 word per sentence on average, and that's not how it will work in real life, you won't have 1 word per sentence, but if it doesn't find that sort of average of words, it will say, right, this title of this article or page is mobile phones or blah blah, but when I look through the page, I don't see anything that suggests that this, or very much that suggests that this article is about mobile phones. It looks like it's about any old thing because it's not given context. So make sure you need context. Use the Google tool, Google keyword tool, if you like, which gives you a handy list of context words you can use, but definitely use context. This says Twitter, Facebook, URL and tweet. URL in a tweet or retweet or like, but this also includes all social media, so it includes Digs, Reddit, StumbleUpons, Deliciouses, all the rest of them, even high rank plig sites, everything. Quite important, get social noise going. Have social noise. Authenticity. Now this is a metric I don't fully understand. Well, I understand just about enough, but not well enough to explain it to you. In the short way, it means have decent quality, authentic article. It doesn't mean use unspun. I'm not getting all white hat on you. If you're going to spin. But remember these rules above about language appropriate and all that kind of stuff, and it making sense. But so I'm not against spinning or anything like that. What I'm saying is you need to have this funny metric where it looks at 3 to 5 word phrases, it looks for cliches, it discards stop words, it looks for at least 60% of those to be unique or to be placed in a unique manner. I probably, if I can find some resources that explain it better than I've just done now, I'll link to on Demon when I embed this video. Number of inbound backlinks, and there are criteria that apply, but that has increased in importance, the correlation of importance, since July of this year. And when Search Metrics did it in July, they said it had increased earlier in 2012. So backlinks were important, and they get more important, not less. What seems to be declining the most is poor quality content, AdSense blocks, various things like EMD and all that kind of stuff. But backlinks are increasingly important as long as you stick to the rules, as long as you don't break the penguin rules, as long as you now surround them by better content and all that kind of stuff. Now there's going to be people that argue with that, and there'll be people who can manage to rank sites in certain niches and using certain methods breaking half of these rules. And that doesn't mean this is wrong, and it doesn't mean that they're wrong. This is a huge sample size, say, of hundreds of millions of URLs and hundreds of thousands of sites. There will be exceptions to every rule, and when you've got a sample size that big, there will be hundreds or thousands of exceptions. But the huge wind chain is in this direction. I'm certainly taking notice of what this says, and while I can sort of pat myself on the back to say I'm already doing quite a few of the things here, there's a few things, you know, that surprised me. The AdSense block thing really surprised me. I just didn't see that one coming. The word count, wasn't sure about that. The backlink anchor text frequency within your own stuff, I didn't know about that. The fact that images are now getting back to be important, I didn't know about that. But some things don't surprise me. The fact that authentic content or unique content is important. Social noise increasingly important. Decent language is important. Anchor text variation, we've become aware of that over the last few months. So that I did know, but other stuff I didn't know. And when we look at this criteria apply, you could almost have another bar negative about all the stuff that those criteria are, which could absolutely hammer your site. Like if you do break the penguin rules, if you do overuse the same content over and over again, if you do publish content which is unreadable, even if it's all English, if it doesn't make any sense. I'm not getting all white hat. I really don't like the phrase white hat. But this is the way the wind's changing. This is pretty consistent with the stuff that Search Metrics came up with a few months ago. There's no big surprises here, really, nothing out of the ordinary, other than perhaps the AdSense block is the thing that caught me out. But other than that, there's nothing that absolutely slaps me about. I'm going to try and roll with the punches. I'm going to create slightly better content. I'm still going to use the automation I previously used because backlinks are more important than ever. I'm going to be a little bit more careful about how I spin. I'm perhaps going to do more variations, perhaps going to write 2 articles for every one and then spin them a little bit more carefully, all that kind of stuff. I'm not going to be buying any Fiverr services or anything like that to spam my site with tens of thousands of rubbish links for $5. All that kind of stuff is completely out now. My Zrummer server, that's interesting. Some of you know I run Zrummer servers. I'm part of a network that sort of hires out my server to a well-known Zrummer drip linking network when they don't have capacity, and I've got a little metric I look at which shows me what their capacity is month by month, and whether they'll be needing my services or not, or whether they want my server or not. And it's got to the stage the last couple of months where they're giving me work to do, but they're telling me it's just just to keep me going, and just so that they're just spreading out evenly, and they haven't really got enough work for themselves anymore. And I've just said that's fine, don't bother, because I'm thinking of turning Zrummer off. Unless I've got 500 clients and each one wants a little burst, I'm certainly not in the mood to create 1.5 million links a day anymore. I just can't find any use for 1.5 million links a day anymore. It doesn't seem to be adding a great deal of benefit. But I know there are some methods that do. There are some methods that do still require huge quantities of backlinks in a short space of time. But be aware here that is sort of going counter to the way the wind's blowing. Google and Bing are the two two big search giants where this was based on and where these were measured against, and they seem to be quite deliberately putting factors in place to reduce the benefit, if not penalise that as a way forward, as a way of marketing. If you want to carry on do that, that's absolutely fine. If you found a way of making it work again, no problem. But I'm thinking hundreds of links rather than thousands now is probably the way to go. But that's just my thoughts on it. Anyway, Squitty, demondemon.com, signing off.